someday I'm going to have the boob of my dreams. I knew I needed a lift since day one. They came out saggy. My boobs at the point, like the week before surgery, I would look at my boobs in the shower and I was just like, these aren't even mine anymore. You know, I was like, get these off.
Today's guest is making moves both in the music industry and in personal care. Grammy Award-winning artist Meghan Trainor. Now, you may know her from the chart-topping hits of All About That Bass and Made You Look, but today we're going to take a deeper dive into her personal story. She's a mom of two, an advocate for mental health, and she's embracing a new chapter in her life, which includes cosmetic surgery. Whether you're looking for any cosmetic enhancements or you simply want an honest conversation about these topics, you do not want to miss this episode. Meghan, thank you so much for joining us.
What were you reading? You memorized all that? Dude, that was unbelievable. You should be on TV.
That's what I've been saying for years.
You are wasting your looks and talent.
Man, I'm turning
I kept
bright
looking over
red
like,
here.
what are you reading?
Yeah. Oh. Thanks for the teleprompter, guys.
Yeah, nothing's there. He genuinely did all that.
Meghan, he remembers stuff from the first year of med school, which
Oh,
was like
duh, you're
25
smart.
years ago.
You're smart.
No, he really does.
God.
He remembers things that you can't even imagine.
Now, I can't remember what I ate yesterday or some really important
I was
things,
like,
but I can't
you're a
just
superhuman
random things.
AI guy, and I
I'll be
love
honest,
it.
I was really thinking exactly what you just said. I'm like, where are
you
you
see me
reading
look
this?
over like,
something?
what the hell
And
is
this was
that?
like towards me, so I couldn't
You
even see it.
angel, you memorized that for me. Thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. Nobody does that. Thank
We're
you so much.
excited to have you.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here. You have changed my life, Dr. I say Payman. That's your first name.
That's perfect.
Dr. Payman. Dr. Pay. Dr. Tanya Poor, you've changed my life forever. These are the boobies of my dreams, and I'm an open book. Everyone knows that about me, so I love to talk about it because it happens all the time. And I felt like when I posted about it, everyone's like, "Yay! Finally, someone's talking about it." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I'll talk
It's funny
about
because
it.
out of the many big celebrities that John and I have both had the pleasure of taking care of, you're the only really big celebrities like, I want to embrace this and tell everyone. So everyone that is scared of doing it could come out and do it, because it really isn't a scary thing to do.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. You're also a pleasure to take care of and pleasure to have around and talk to. Both you, your husband, your team,
I roll up with a team.
It makes a very big difference. So
Yay.
welcome.
I mean, you've been so open about the journey. I mean, what made you decide, first of all, to do this now?
Well, yeah, I had my two baby boys and I went through my breastfeeding journey. The first time was pretty horrific. We were at the point where I had a feeding tube over my shoulder taped to my nipple, trying to pretend feed him to trick him and my brain to be like, this is working. It never was. The second baby, everyone's like, try again. I just wasn't producing milk. So the second baby, I was taking like 8 vitamins, morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like 3 times a day, just trying to produce milk, eating everything and drinking everything. And I made a little more, but I had to pump it out of me. And then when I was pumping for hours, I was trying to do the power hour pump where you just sit there and you're a machine. And I was like, I haven't held either kid today. Like, I haven't seen my children because I'm over here doing this. And I was just like, it's not worth it. I'm going to go to my Bobby formula and feed them and know that they're okay and they're fine. So when I have other kids, however I have them, I know that my boobies are done. We did it. We tried twice and we love you, appreciate you. We're done. So my dream in life was always like, okay, since high school, I knew my dad would even notice. He used to buy me the implants, like gel foam,
The little
things
cutlets
that you could get at Victoria's Secret. And he came home and was like, look what I got you, buddy. Because he knew I was so lopsided that he was like, maybe this will help. And how embarrassing is that? So, and it's totally normal. But I was like, someday I'm going to have the boob of my dreams. And I knew I needed a lift since day one. They came out saggy. I was raised with saggy boobs. And then I had 2 kids. I gained the most weight I've ever had, and then I lost it all, and then I lost even more. And now I've finally learned about nutrition, and which I wish they taught in elementary school. I'm trying to teach my kids, like, this is what protein is. And my boobs, at the point, like the week before surgery, I would look at my boobs in the shower and I was just like, these aren't even mine anymore. You know, I was like, get these off. So I think when you're at that place, like, that's when you know.
How did you come to decide to use the practice, to use Dr. Trainor?
Why'd you come to us?
Speaking to you.
I know the story behind it 'cause it's fun, but yes.
Through a friend, which is always great when you see results that you love.
Yeah.
I have a really nice friend who was showing me her boobs and was like, I got the doctor. And I was like, I want those.
Yeah.
So that's always nice when you can see proof. I studied a lot of doctors. I went on all their websites and I looked at before and afters. That was huge to me. And your boobies were the prettiest.
Thank
and like, it just didn't look like work. It just looked like, I don't know, improvement or sci-fi. I don't know.
You know, the interesting part when we had a consult, and you and I met a few times before we had surgery, I felt like we were so on the same page because I'm the guy who likes to put in very small implants. I like things to look very
I was
natural.
like, how do I not walk out of here with big boobies?
And that's the one thing you kept stressing. Don't make me look like I've had anything done. I want to look natural. I don't want my kids to know that I've had
like I also liked, I did like having small boobies, and my mom got a reduction, so I was like, I know it's in my family to have big boobs and have the neck pain, and I was like, I don't want that. I don't want to do all this and then be like, oops, they're too big, like do it another way. But they're like the perfect size because they're just like perky in there, and I didn't realize how much I would love having boobies, like because I was scared at first. I was like, they're too big. I literally thought these are too big, and I told Daryl, I was like, these are too big, and he was like, no, if anything, they're not big enough, you know? And I was like, what? But when I wear a lot of sweatshirts, that's the one thing that I had no idea. When I went home and started wearing my outfits, I was like, oh, none of these show my boobs because I was not even knowing I was covering them up so much. Right. I only wore hoodies. But even when I put my hoodies on, I saw chest and I was like, ooh, I like this. Like I'm trying to get more in touch with my feminine side. And that definitely helped a lot. I was like, she is a female. She has boobies. Look at her, you know?
Listen, I saw the jingle ball when you were dressed as a little Santa.
Oh, my jingle ball?
You look pretty feminine.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, people are like, your boobs were good before. And I'm like, you know what that took to get those boobs like that? Like crazy push-up bras, duct tape to my shoulders. So I would always, my skin is so fair. You know my skin. That every time I peeled it off, sometimes I would bleed. Sometimes, it was a nightmare. And I took a picture in my Jingle Ball outfit of like this crazy push-up bra. And I was like, can it look like this? To him, I texted it to him. He's like, they're going to look even better. And he was right.
Love it.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to me how it's still one of these taboo subjects, and it's so common.
It's so common.
Right? It's so common. And we need more people like yourself to say, look, I'm doing it for this reason. They look amazing, well worth it. You know, I mean, there's so much misinformation out there that I think that it's great to have an honest opinion of someone that's been through the process.
Yeah, I'm an open book. I'll tell everybody everything. You know, like everyone knows I'm bald. Not bald, but I have a bald spot, and I'm trying everything to grow my hair.
We're gonna fix that too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There's the beauty of medicine now is like you said, it's like we didn't learn so much back in the day about how to eat or what to do or what not to do.
Yeah.
Now we're learning that they're regenerative medicine kind of that can be used to treat hair loss or to treat, acne scars or to treat longevity in a lot of ways without having to do major surgery. So those are the kinds of things that we're going to play with so we can make the hair thicker.
Yeah, now that's me and my husband is our new obsession. We're addicted to biohacking. We want to live forever.
Yes, and that's
because we have our babies and I want to watch my great grandkids grow,
Amen.
And I think I could do it. My Nana, without all the gadgets, was 102 and made it to 102.
Oh, you're going to live to 152.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to live forever. I have good genes and then we have good science. So, let's do it.
You put those together and it's amazing.
Yeah, boom.
Speaking of longevity, your schedule is absolutely insane. I mean, you're making music, you're raising kids, you still look flawless. Your skin is radiant right now.
Thank you.
What is like a typical day for you?
Oh, I would love to tell you my skincare routine because we got to fix it. When I was pregnant, I got perioral dermatitis and it was like red and dry. It looked like eczema on my face, which was tough because this is the job, like and then putting makeup on it was a nightmare. But, and the only thing that could fix it was like this Doxy, antibiotic, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Doxycycline, exactly. But you can't take that while pregnant, so I had to wait. And I didn't want the cure to always be antibiotics. I was like, oh, my stomach's already a wreck, dude. Like, so then my dermatologist at the time told me to get Avene lotion, like AV, not Aveeno.
Oh no,
it's like a French one. It's AVEENE, Avene. Yeah, it's just really gentle. Okay. And so I use their, it's like a white bottle with orange words. Okay. It's everywhere in the UK and every other country I've been to. It's all over it's like in their CVS's, it's everywhere. But in America, I cannot find it. I can only find it on Amazon.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
We may have to look into this and put it as a part of our skincare.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's like the most gentle, and I just do like the face wash, and then I just do the lotion. And then my skin, I know, like, because it's so dry sometimes, I just do the snail mucin that everyone loves.
Yeah, it gives that extra glow.
And that's all I do.
Yeah. No, listen.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah. The interesting part about what we say, an adequate skincare routine, whatever makes your skin look great, right? I mean, we say, all right, you should have a few staples, but not everybody needs to have a 10-part routine. I mean, clearly it's working.
When do I start retinol? Because my skin is like, if you scratch it, like I will have a red scratch all day long.
Well, you use a nano encapsulated or micro encapsulated retinol. That way you can use it every day and it's not going to cause irritation or flaking or anything like that. So
don't worry, I have
so smart.
something for
I was
you
like,
right
what?
Yeah. Oh, all kinds of goodies.
But yeah, your skin, both your skin, it's incredible. What is it?
It's actually a mask.
I was like, is it someone else's skin? Like, what is this?
Exactly. It works.
Do you have good genes too? Like, what is it?
Look,
he's always tan.
Is it Botox? That's what I'm pissed about,
And then we always say, don't sit in the sun.
This was, I know the funny part.
I avoid the sun. Look at me.
But that's why you look so young.
It's
and you are so young.
6 hours of kids baseball over the weekend that adds a little.
You have
sun
children?
right here. I do have 3. Yeah.
Sorry, I threw up in my mouth.
Oh, he has the best kids, and they're the nicest kids you've ever met in your life. They'll walk up to you and be like, "Hello, sir."
Man. We're pretty regimented. They're
like their schedule. That's what we're doing. But I think it's making my kids crazy.
We're pretty. Look, my wife's a Texan. I'm a Wisconsin boy. We definitely raise it. They say yes sir, yes ma'am. This is
they walk in like, "Good morning, sir."
Stop it! I'm doing that. I'm adding yes ma'am.
Listen, that little bit of toughness right there. They may not like me all the time, but they're definitely respectful.
I know. I think I'm gentle parenting really softly, and I think it's catching up.
About this, I go, just do good cop, bad cop if you have to.
Yeah.
If you really need to be
like in one person, or like make dad.
Have Daryl be the bad guy.
Yeah, I feel. I was like, am I? Because he's strict too. He's not strict. We're both like, okay, But my son, I was telling you before, is getting to that place where he's like, I love Dada. I don't love you. And I'm like,
they know just how to stick the needle in.
That's
It'll
crazy.
change on a daily basis, depending on how nice you're being.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a month,
Really?
Oh, no. Listen,
it's been a big, long month.
And their boys.
Yeah.
It's just,
everyone's like, they're going to be mama's boys. And I was like, when?
Yeah.
You're like, please. Oh, I've been waiting for mine to
I think it's
happen.
literally as simple as like, I'm gone all day working. And Daryl's home and fun,
Yeah.
So when I come home exhausted, I try to go like, woohoo, but I think you can feel vibes of like, ooh, mama tired,
Yeah.
So
listen, it's tough.
It's hard to be a mom and work as hard as you do, really, and then also deal with, hey, I got to come home, deal with them, but I also have to take care of myself, and I have to take care of my husband, and I have to. That means a lot going on at the same time.
I have no regrets on my surgery. It was the best thing I ever done. I would have done it over and over again. I think the only thing that shook up my life a little was that I couldn't put him down to sleep at night because we spoiled that boy. We lay 45 minutes every night, and we switch parents every other night because we have 2 boys. But I couldn't like crawl in the bed,
Sure.
And like I couldn't be on my side. So for like at least 2 weeks, I was like, I have to go right to bed and take care of myself. And I don't know if that's what started the dada,
Yeah.
that he's just seeing him more and cuddling him more.
Switch.
Because it's only at nighttime.
Yeah, it'll come back.
And I'm like, okay, it's mommy's special night. And he's like, ugh. I was like, wait.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
back
worry.
now.
It happened to me last night. I
Okay,
went to go
good.
put her to bed.
And you didn't
I
get your
got
boobs
into
done.
bed with her, and as soon as my wife walked in, she goes, "Oh, Mama,
Yeah.
I don't want that."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Daryl,
"Okay, peace, I'm out."
usually the other parent comes in and says, okay, I love you, Riley. Good night. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm not coming in. And I was
Yeah.
like, don't, please. You'll ruin my moment. Yeah.
So
And they said it's going to be easy.
Someone said, yeah.
I have multiple
and I
kids,
bragged
they
about
said.
how easy and awesome it is because they were. But then Riley woke up at 4 years old and now he's like, I'm going to give you all my emotions. And I'm like, oh, 4.
Yeah.
4 is tough. There was no terrible 2s. There was no terrible 3s. Like 4 is like, they're smart
well,
now.
God bless
Yeah,
you, because
yeah.
I had terrible 2s,
4.
and I'm in terrible 3s.
Oh,
And I think there's
Yeah,
going to be
no.
4s, 5s, and 6. But it's also having 2 girls instead of 2 boys. So I think it's a
Right.
little different.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds.
yeah. What do you have?
I have twin boys
Twin!
that are almost 9, and then a girl
There's
that's
no way
7.
you look like this. Tell me what's in your face.
You want to know the funny thing? His wife, had the twins. I swear, I kid you
course
not.
she had them.
And then about 6 weeks later, not even 5 weeks later, we all met up for one of our employees' birthdays at a restaurant. And they walked around the corner. I was sitting with all the employees, and they walked, and we all did one of these. Like, she looked
They look
better
perfect.
again, he didn't carry the baby, so she
Right.
looked better than she did before the pregnancy 6 weeks later. Like, she never had babies. And if you see her in
Where's
a
she
baby suit
from?
now,
She's Houston.
Yeah, but like, how'd you find
She's
her?
not-
College?
she's an alien.
Found her here.
an
actually.
alien.
Where'd you find her?
He introduced me to
oh,
her.
that's a
you
great
did?
story.
Yeah.
It was like the first week. No other woman had a chance because the first week he met his wife in LA.
Wait, shut up.
I swear to you.
Wow,
a pool
LA
party.
dating is like ruthless. I
Yeah.
can't believe that's
why I
rare.
dodged a bullet there.
You know,
Me
it was
too,
at
me
a
too,
pool
me
party
too.
at a friend's house, okay? So we all go to this pool party and I leave him there. I go, I'm going to go pick up some people, some girls, and I'll be right back.
He drops me off at the party, and he's like, "I'll be right back." I'm like, "Wait, whoa!"
I'm grabbing your wife.
I don't know.
I'll be right back.
What I did.
Yeah.
I went and I picked up with this other
You
guy.
angel.
I picked up like 6 girls, and
He called me.
I go, oh my God, I got something coming for
Yeah,
you.
he called me, and he's like, "I have someone who's right up your alley." And I saw her, and that was it. That was
So then we get in, and then he gets in the jacuzzi with her, or they're both sitting in the jacuzzi, and her friend comes over to me and goes, "What's his story?" I go, "It depends who's asking."
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. I mean, it was really like
Yeah.
it was that simple.
yeah.
I tried to pawn him
love
off as
that.
not liking women. And
13
everything
years
else.
today.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Today.
Kendall, here's a shout out to you.
Kendall,
Happy
we
anniversary.
love you.
Happy anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
today?
Today. Today.
What are you doing here? Oh my god, I would have done this any other day.
You know what we talked
No.
about last week when you told me you did a 5-year
renewal?
renewal?
Yeah.
So they did a 10-year renewal. I
Yeah,
told you
I
about
gotta
this.
do the
And
same
it was
too.
it was
It's the best.
awesome. It was just so
Well,
much
we
fun.
did. We got married at a place in Mexico, at a hotel in Mexico, and we absolutely loved
Cabo?
it. In Cabo.
Yeah.
The Nobu?
No, it was Cabo Azul.
Oh.
And loved the area, and so 10 years later we went back, and it was rebuilt because the hurricanes had destroyed
Oh,
it, but it was
wow.
rebuilt and it was even better than before. So it was.
Were they
just,
like, you look the same?
No.
You're back. You time
Yeah.
traveled.
Senor?
They did a before and after, and it was exactly the same.
Like, what's your skincare routine?
You know, the funny part. Here's the
Don't
thing.
say a
We
bar
have-
of soap.
No way. Are you kidding me? We have
No.
We have our own line, Beverly Hills MD. We have
Oh, Beverly Hills
a
MD.
whole.
Oh, you gave me some of that. Yeah,
I got
think.
We've got
Love.
some fun stuff. But the funny part is when you're a plastic surgeon,
Don't
and
worry,
you
your
see
face is
100
going on all
different skincare lines. I see what works and what doesn't. I listen.
Yeah.
My wife tries out every Korean,
Yeah.
product. And then what we do is we can deconstruct it and look at it and say, all right, how can we make it better? And so it's easier for us, I feel, because we know the science behind it and why something would work. And so I have my own routine, but I use all our own products.
How do you feel about snail mucin?
Look, I mean, it's
Just wet.
there are proteins and peptides that are in the mucin that can be beneficial and to lock in hydration. So do I necessarily need to use snail mucin? Probably not, but it's an alternative. So
Have you heard
it
of
works.
what's it called when you take like Aquaphor and you just smother your face
Sure,
at
yes,
night?
we talked about that. It's,
What is it? There's a word for it.
Yeah.
we talked about that
Sally
like
knows.
a couple months ago.
What's it called when you put Aquaphor on your whole face?
Yeah. You lather it on and
Slugging.
Slugging,
Literally
yeah.
slug.
Yes.
Thank you, Zena.
It can actually really clog your pores and cause
no.
a lot of acne. Yeah.
on the right skin type. So for dry skin, perfect. For anyone who's got oily or oiliness.
I have so many questions for you guys. Wait,
Just sounds
also,
so
Yeah,
weird.
this is
do you know
great
like when
stuff.
you have a random red dot on your face, like a blood vessel
Little
that never goes
telangiectasia.
away?
That
My
never goes
dad
away?
has them around here, and
So
I think
easy.
I'm getting
Just
them.
zap it.
Well, that's
With
rosacea.
a
It's so
beam
easy.
laser.
That's rosacea.
That's rosacea.
Wait a second. You looking at my face seeing rosacea?
That's what I'm talking about. The tiny little capillaries. that
No,
form?
it looks like a smiley face. He's got two
it
little
starts that
veins.
way, but that is what rosacea is. It's ultimately those tiny little capillaries that slowly grow. And most of us post 35 have some element of that. So if you come in and
I
we were
do.
to do a Vectra, scan your skin.
We'll do that next time.
It will show you where all the red things
You
are.
have
really
all
cool.
these things. I thought you just do boobs. You do everything.
But you got to understand, this master who does facelifts and
Okay,
nose
wait.
jobs and all sorts of
So you're
great
all at the
stuff.
same building. You're the boob guy and the tummy tuck guy.
I do breast and body. We do a lot of breast and body together as well. Like
Okay.
when we do big mommy makeovers. But
Okay.
he's the master when it
And
comes
you're
to
a face.
facial rejuvenation.
Have you done any face surgery on yourself?
Not yet, but I will.
Where? How could you?
I'll be amenable to it. No, listen, my kids are young. I'm old. And I would like to stay as young as I possibly can. So that's why that was our foray into regenerative
he
medicine.
freezes himself every night before he goes to
I
sleep.
think that's what I think that's what's happening.
The cryo chamber.
I just don't believe anything you say. You look insane.
I
You
love
look great. It's great. You both look great. You
Oh.
both have like dark hair too and full hair. That's what I
Yeah,
noticed
There's,
in the
it's
office.
not all dark, honey.
We're lucky.
Yeah, but
we're
in
lucky
the
from
office,
that
everyone's
aspect.
got dark, gorgeous hair, and I was like, "Oh, they all dye it. That's so sweet."
They're
and
all
then
wigs.
Yeah,
Your friend,
we get a discount on that.
who's our other guy? Who's the
Joe
other doctor?
Lobine?
Joe.
Yeah.
He was like, "No, I don't dye this," and I was like, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
He was like,
he's done so much stem
That's the
cells.
stem cells.
"Yeah, stem
That's
cells."
I think he
regenerative
takes
medicine.
I think
I
he takes
love-
the stuff off the shelf and just gives it to himself.
He does. Yeah, his skin also looks great too.
No, he's
We have access. We have access
Fascinated.
to a lot.
Yeah, you guys know more. You're smarter. You're scientists.
you
I'm
talk about what
scientist.
the snail mucin.
Yeah.
It's funny because now there's things like salmon sperms facials.
What is that? Yeah,
they
I
just
did
came
hear
to us
that.
to try to sell it to us, and it's interesting because there's the next gimmick every day, right? There's insulin facials. I don't know if you've heard of that. Taking
Mm-hmm. What did
regular-
I text you last night? That's
Oh, you
different than
sent
Botox.
me about the new Botox that's coming out of Korea. So there's a new brand that's coming out, and there's a lot of these, but they're all
Really?
relatively similar. They
Okay.
made a big deal about this one brand that came out a couple of years ago that it's going to last 6 months, and it really didn't. So I think when it comes down
So
to
they
it,
can
a
just,
lot of
like,
these
lie?
neurotoxins are about the same.
Well, they had
Like
some.
what?
They had some clinical testing that showed that in some individuals it lasted up to
Yeah, I was
9
like, isn't
months.
every body different?
Yes, to a degree, but most of the time it does work.
Yeah.
Most of the time it actually, for most people, except for him, because he blows through Botox like it's nothing, because he's got a higher metabolism. But for most people, and even interesting part is now they're saying that if you sweat a lot, sometimes Botox will leave your body a little faster.
Wow.
If you have a higher metabolism, if you're in the sun, sometimes people that go on vacation, they say the Botox works for 2 months and not 3 months, or 3 months, not 4 months. So everyone is a little different.
Does
right?
my metabolism suck if my Botox lasts forever?
It's kind of like me, high five.
No, but
Mine has
it's
been in.
forever.
I did too much last time I did it, but it was months ago, and I'm still like, wow, look at my forehead.
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth. I think it's not that it's your overall metabolism; it's the metabolism of that particular protein.
Exactly.
I was like, because I'm pooping every day. You know,
You're like, I'm moving.
I'm moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that you metabolize that slowly, which is like a bonus.
What do you guys eat for food? Sorry, I'm so fascinated.
No, this is great.
I
It's
just
great.
like, no one taught me
Can
this.
I tell you? So him and I lived togetger for 2 years in New York. Okay, the reason we're here together is because we did our residency together. Well,
Love it. So
we
cute.
lived across the street from this pizzeria. What was it called?
Alfredo's.
Alfredo's. I forgot.
Alfredo's. Oh my god.
And it was amazing. So I'd be driving home, okay, and I'd call him and I'd say, "Hey, John, what are we having for dinner?" Because most nights, it was healthy. It really was. We'd do something. But some nights I get home, I ordered a pizza and I ate half of it already.
Yeah.
Like no one's business. But he can do that. But the nice thing about his regimen is he'll cheat a little, but then be very healthy.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
where I'm
that's
kind of
how
at
everyone
now.
should be.
Yeah. Well, we'll do like
Me, I'm the other way around.
Pizza Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my kids love it. But Riley has been having tummy issues. And so we do like gluten-free, dairy-free pizza from Fresh Brothers. They didn't pay me to say that, but I love them.
They do have a good pizza.
And it's good.
Does it work when you do that? Does he feel better?
It's definitely better. Like, cause my kids love water, but it's weird. They're like obsessed with it. They're obsessed with their water bottles. Like they carry it like a teddy bear, dude. They're like, wow. And I'm like, all right. Awesome. To the point where we had to like pull back water because he was so bloated. So when he eats cheese pizza, you get more thirsty. So then he's like, I'm so thirsty, I need a drink. And then his stomach just blew up, you know? So
they're so cute.
They're so cute. But yeah, even
like
when he was 2 or something, he had a stomach flu in Australia and was like throwing up. And we were like, oh no, we got to get electrolytes in him. And we tried to give anything to him, like apple juice or Gatorade. And he was just like,
he wanted was water.
Just water?
Wow.
Yeah, just water. It's so bizarre. Because like I grew up and my cousins all grew up on juice. And I remember them being like, juice, like addicted to the sugar.
Yep.
I was like, oh, my kids will not have that, you know?
They don't drink milk?
Not at 4. No, I guess not.
Okay. No, because my
well, now he's dairy free because all his tummy issues.
Okay. Yeah.
Just for a minute, we have to like do a lot of testing.
You can switch over to like A2 milk because the A2 milk doesn't.
A2 milk, okay,
is a lot. It's digested a lot easier than regular milk. So I'm lactose intolerant, as he knows.
No
very
way.
Well. But I still do it because I
milk.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah.
No, but I
like
have
the
the A2
thrill.
milk. Like if I have coffee, like the coffee I made for myself this morning has A2 milk in it because the kids drink it as well. So it's a
Are they
lot
lactose
easier.
too?
I don't know, but it's a lot. It's just tolerated a lot easier on the belly.
My acid is crazy.
Yeah, I think look, milk in general is good if it's the right type. I think the problem is, again, I'm a big fan of the pseudo carnivore diet. It depends on your blood type.
My husband.
But I'm more red meat.
We want to be the animal people.
Yeah,
but like
I do have
the
fresh
eating
fruits
of
and
the
vegetables.
butter. I don't know if I'll ever be there.
I used to give sticks of
I can't
butter
do that.
Sticks
to
of
my
butter.
kids.
Yeah.
When they were like the little ones still, but it's really great for cognitive development. For development of your brain, butter's really good.
Yeah, they eat it like cheese.
Yeah.
Which I can't even eat cheese like that because I'm like, where's the bread?
Yeah.
You know?
Man, I don't know.
They put it in a date though, and people
French.
swear by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Butter.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
date-
my kids, it just depends who it is. One will, one's really picky. One will eat anything. The other is right in the middle.
Yeah, my kid's just like me. He's a texture boy. If it's green, he's like,
It's interesting though.
like,
I always
"Come on."
think that it's what you give them too. If they
give them
didn't know anything
everything.
better, they'd be like, okay, because my wife was like, no, she doesn't like this or she does like this. I'm like, I guarantee you, if you gave her a certain type of food, she had no other choice.
right.
She'd eat it.
My husband's like, don't put the broccoli on his plate. He doesn't like it. I was like, I'm gonna put it there and I'm gonna give it as an option.
Should
And
see what I
like,
made last night. I made a broccoli smash. I took broccoli and I just smashed it, threw a little cheese on it.
Well, now my poor kid.
She thought it was a
can't have
pizza,
dairy.
but it was a broccoli pizza.
Since you're like doctors and you study stuff, do you know anything about digestion and like the
good. The gut-brain
intestines,
axis
the gut
is
brain?
huge. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
My sweet little boy, his belly was huge for like months and months and months, and everyone's like, he's a baby, and I'm like, something's up.
Little distended.
And like, no, very distended. I'll show you. It's crazy. It's like what we're going through now. We're also noticing he withholds, which I've seen online. Mom's like sobbing, being like, if your kid withholds from pooping, like holds it in.
Yeah.
It is like the saddest thing to watch. Like he's shaking, and then he's like, I'm good. And we're like,
Yeah.
no, you have to go potty.
Yeah.
But we took him to get an x-ray, and like all the way up
He had poop
above
everywhere.
his ribs was gas and poop. And we're like, how do we get this out of you?
We've done that. Yeah, we've done that.
So
with
it
one of
happens to
ours.
everyone. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Is
This
it?
is something very common with
It's
children.
horrific.
And they have to get used to pooping. And also, the one thing we don't realize is we don't give enough fiber.
Yeah.
Nobody really eats enough fiber.
He maybe has like berries.
So
and
do you
then-
see those little prune packets? Like I'll send
I give
you
him prunes. I give him
just
like full
the little prune
prunes, but the
packets will really help because if the stool's a little bit softer, right?
Yeah.
It's easier for
we
them
were trying
to poop, and they're not as
Miralax.
scared.
Oh man.
Because if
He's-
it's hard, they're scared because it hurts, right?
Yeah, we tried Miralax, but then he was just like sharding all day,
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
but you know what actually did work? If you're a parent out there and you're watching this and you're struggling like me, mineral oil.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like disgusting, but we put it in a little syringe, like in his mouth, and then we immediately put honey in his mouth, and he takes it like a champ.
Oh, that's great.
A little teaspoon every night, and that is the only thing.
Of olive oil every day.
Dude, I was like, give me that mineral oil.
Should
like,
look at the J-Lo over
it
here.
like
I
lubes
just
up
don't put
your
it on my
colon.
face.
Yeah. I was like, what is this power? I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Mineral oil.
mineral oil was great. That worked a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, there's so much research on gut health right now and how important it is for brain development too. And I think that eventually, you know, the new treatment coming out. So obviously we love regenerative medicine and what's happening and living forever,
I'm
right?
obsessed.
This is interesting.
But
I want to come to all your meetings.
Ooh, yes, bring
Just
it.
let me just be a fly on the wall.
This is the new treatment. It sounds gross, but it's called FMT, fecal matter transplantation. And what they're doing is they're taking these, we call them super poopers, which ultimately, imagine it's like an Olympian athlete. And what they do is they take the stool culture, they culture the bacteria that's in that, and then they double encapsulate a pill and you swallow it.
I'm
That is
eating
going
someone's
to be
poop.
Yes, for sure.
indirectly.
Yes, that's
Indirectly,
really.
but it
Are
completely
you guys
changes,
hearing this?
Yes.
It completely
Sally, we're about to
changes
eat
your
poop.
microbiome. It
I lo-
completely changes
I'll
your
do
microbiome.
anything.
Yeah.
To
But you
fix my gut health?
Yes.
So
And that-
there's a
Girl.
possibility we're
Yeah.
going to take his poop.
I'll eat your poop. That's the clip. I will eat your poop if it makes my gut health better. Because also, have
I
you
can only see
noticed
the headlines right now.
how is your wife's stomach? Because have you noticed that like every girl, every female I know either has IBS or has PCOS.
Yeah.
Like getting diagnosed left and right. I'm the only one of my girlfriends that doesn't have PCOS,
Yeah.
but I
Well,
have
that's great.
IBS. I know. I think it's because I'm the youngest one that had a baby or something. Like
Yeah,
I had a baby
maybe.
at 26.
Maybe.
And none of them are like even
that's great. Good for you.
married.
Wonderful.
But I think that's the only thing I've ever heard that's like, oh, if you get pregnant, it could help it. So I'm like, how did I miss this? But also, I went to a GI guy and was like, I'm bloated. I have stink farts. I only eat healthy. Like I'm constantly belching. What's going on in my stomach? And he was like, IBS. And I was like, you mean I'm a female? Like, that's what all of us have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I go to my audiences now in a live show and I go, raise your hand if you got IBS. And the whole crowd goes
You're
wild.
right, you're right. Yeah.
What's that? Doctors?
Yeah, look,
So the
irritable
interesting
bowel
part is a
syndrome.
lot of it has to do with also stressors, stimuli.
Oh, God, being
it's a lot of-
stressed?
because stress can cause IBS. This was
that's
my
me.
nightmare in med
Okay.
school because every exam I'd get nervous and then
Nervous
I'd
shits.
have to shit my pants.
Yeah. I did that right before surgery.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah, you
I've
did
never,
actually. Oh my
I've never
God.
nervous pooped before in my entire life, but I nervous pooped right before surgery. I was like about to faint because
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that
it was
was
so
fun.
early. I was fasting. He was drawing on me and I've never been drawn on like that. And I was like, oh boy. And
here we
he was
go.
like, I know this is the weirdest part. And I was like, I don't feel good. And then
So we
I was
only
like,
marked one boob.
only marked one boob.
I remember this.
And I was like, I have to go to the
remember you
bathroom.
told
And he
me.
goes, sorry, what's the bathroom going to do? And I was like, I'm going to shit myself. So watch out. And I ran and I had a full poop before surgery.
the
And I was
way.
like, well, you know what? At least I'm empty now. So have at it.
But honestly, though, it's two things. One is foods that can cause problems. Okay,
Yep.
so whether you're gluten intolerant or lactose intolerant
Yeah.
or whatever is causing an issue, and
think
you eat it,
gluten
that can
hurts
cause
me.
IBS. The other thing is stress, and stress can really. A lot of people like I would get nervous before an exam, and
Yeah.
literally at one point, the people in med school thought I was going to the bathroom because I had like answers in the
Oh,
bathroom,
cheating?
and they sent a professor in there with me,
Stop
and the
it.
guy's like, he heard it all. And he goes, this poor guy. Sorry, I mean,
He's just
I
ripping
think
ass.
Exactly. No, so we have to figure out kind of what works for us. That's the whole thing about life, right? What
But
makes you feel
how
good?
do you
What
tell,
doesn't? As
like,
an entertainer, it's the
how do you
hardest thing. in the world.
tell a hardworking mother of two, you're a little bit stressed? Like, how?
Yeah, I mean-
what is the answer? I'm
I
in
think,
therapy.
I think stress will be a trigger, but that's not the cause. To me, I think, look, we've ruined our food supply.
Yeah,
we have so
it's
many
garbage.
processed things. How many times have you drink water out of a plastic bottle and the BPAs that accumulate, the heavy metals?
yeah, like, should we be detoxing?
Yes.
And which one is right?
I think I would somehow, leach out the heavy metals.
It's like what we talked about with therapeutic
How do you
plasma
do it
exchange.
though? Is it like this?
Well, one of the easiest things is therapeutic plasma exchange. You sit
That-
down,
that
and in
whole
2
process.
hours, it just filters your body, right?
And you're going to
Okay.
do that anyways. We talked
I mean,
about this.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the easiest ways. Otherwise, do you take, a there are special detox drinks and things like that with little chemicals that will bind to heavy metals.
Okay.
I just think, again, try to shop at a farmer's market as often as you can.
Yeah.
I know it's tough, but that would be,
many days we're like, do we have to start a farm? Like, do we have to?
How great would
We
it
are
be if you had
literally
your own
getting
eggs?
chickens.
Yeah. Chicken.
We are
I'm about to
buying
get.
chicken.
You're
You
buying chicken.
are?
Yeah, we have a
Let me know how that
chicken coop in the
goes, because I'm like,
They'll be close
exhausting. But
to you.
are
You
you
can just stop
close?
by and pick up some chickens from this
Okay,
place.
I'm gonna get some eggs.
There you go.
I
On a
have
daily
friends
basis,
out
we won't
here that
even
have
be-
eggs,
yeah,
and
we
I'm
won't
like,
be able to make it through all of them.
No, they're blue.
oh my
It's
god,
so cool.
Yeah, that's like eggs are like there was a thing that happened or something, but eggs are hard to get now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the bird flu.
Bird flu.
Right.
So
And I
unfortunately,
was
they
like,
had
am
to
I
like
eating
kill
bird
off
flu?
a ton of eggs. I mean,
Oh,
a ton of chickens. So therefore, there's not the egg production that we've had. So now, for us to have more chickens, it takes time. There's a whole life cycle, and it's going to take a little bit of time before our egg supply. I went to buy eggs the other day. It said only 1 carton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? Between my kids and the
Yeah.
people that help us in the
That's
house.
one day.
And my
It's
husband
done.
eats like 5 eggs in a sitting.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah. So I was like, well, there's half the cart. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
when the
He
kid, we would
loves
go through
eggs.
them.
No, you go through them quickly.
Yeah. You're getting chickens. That's so exciting.
I know, and of course the cute chickens. My wife was like, "We're getting they're called
The gorgeous
silky,
ones. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
silky chickens that are all puffy and
Oh
whatever."
yeah. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it
of
with
course.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it going to make a lot of? There's got to be a rooster, right?
Nope.
No.
So there's no one there. Pop, pop, pop,
No,
pop.
the rooster will make multiple.
Yeah, they're gonna make more.
We just want their periods.
Yeah, exactly. You just
Oh,
want,
so you just want the
eggs.
chicken.
I
Bro,
don't
you're
want
a
the
doctor.
embryos.
How did
I don't
you
know
not?
about this.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't teach you
I can
this.
tell you about your boobs really well, but that's
Yeah.
about chicken.
Okay, yeah. Tell everyone what these are. They're a mini.
What size we put in? We put
Dude,
minis.
when people ask me my cup, I'm like, I don't know.
I think we put like 250s or 260s.
No, 290.
Oh, 290s.
290.
Okay, but
Yeah,
they are
these,
the.
we
minis.
talked about 275 going in because I was like, what's the widowest? All my girlfriends who've had boobs on, and now when I watch TV, I'm like, fake,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
boobs. I'm like, oh, I was the last girl to get them done, But and it's so common. I don't know why no one's talking about it, so I'll talk about it. But everyone gets like 300 cc's, which I'm like, what does that mean?
And
but
up, yeah.
and up. Like my friends were like, don't get lower than 300. I was like, I'm gonna do 270.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want petite small. But they were like, just heads up, when you wake up from surgery, they might go, we did a different one because it measured with your body better, you know? And then I woke up to 290, and I'm so happy you did, because now I'm like, should I have done 300? No, but these
I
are
know.
perfect.
But you know,
So
something
funny.
we talked about
They're
a lot
great.
was making sure that your breasts aren't too big, because
Yeah.
they'll make you look top heavy. And
Yeah.
you've really kind of gone through this transformation, and you've lost weight and you've toned, and to do it after having kids without surgery is really great. It's a testament to you. But the last thing you want to do is get the breasts, and then now everything you've worked for, every time you put clothes on, you look like you're bigger than you used to
Yeah.
be. So they really have to match. And I think that's important in really picking the right breast surgeon, to making sure that the breast implants and the technique that's used and the way it's done really matches your aesthetics. And I think it really does. So it's great.
And in your meetings, like, how when you find your soulmate, you're like, when you know. It's like that with your doctor. When you, I remember going to the bathroom after our first meeting with my assistant, and I was like near tears of happiness, and I was like ecstatic, like it was fireworks, because
Amazing.
we took pictures and you showed me in AI like what it could look like, and I was
Right.
like, I couldn't even dream of having boobs like that. Like, what? And then I went to my second consultation, and there was no pictures, no AI, and it was like, he immediately went into, I'm going to do every part of your body. And I was like, what? Like, I'm going to do your back, I'm going to do your butt and your belly. And I was like, I didn't ask for that. Like, what do you mean? And I went to the bathroom after that one and started crying sad tears to Zena, my assistant. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, I think I'm a monster. Like, I think, what happened?
Look, it's so interesting how plastic surgeons have their own spiel and their own bedside manner. I just think you always make people feel very comfortable, and you're candid, but you will never say, ooh, what about this? And what about, why don't we do this too? Or,
Like, to the point where they were walking out the door and they're like, oh, one more thing. You should put fat in your upper butt. And I was like, like, I just, where do I get the fat? What? Like,
yeah.
and
And
I
it
was
is.
like,
It can be
"Go."
overwhelming.
And I know you guys, you do it all day long, every day. It's numb to you. But you remembered that we're humans going in there talking about something we're insecure about and being like, what are options? Like, don't rip me apart, you know? And you were very good at that.
You remember what we talked about how when I was training, they'd put a picture up?
Yeah.
And I explained to Meghan, I said, when we were training, they put a picture up of someone and say, what would you do? And it was our test to make sure that we knew how to take care of a person by the textbook definition. So their nose, their lips, their eyes, and all the dimensions.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to go about it in private practice? No. The fact that I know how to tackle each part of the body and I can do it, it's great. But not every single person that comes through the door needs a head-to-toe makeover.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna
also
destroy their
curious,
confidence.
do they have like in school, do they show you like an AI perfect human that they think is perfect beauty?
They
you
might
know?
now
Like,
after we were there
how
20
do
years ago.
they
Everything's
is it like
related to the golden ratio.
Symmetry or something?
Right. Symmetry
is the goal?
and ratio.
Okay. And ratio. Love it.
So even waist, hip.
Because I was like, what is the perfect human? You know? like,
I think you realize it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it has to be from them of like, I wish that this was like that. Like, I always wish that my boobs looked related, you know, because my boobs were like gone. And then after being stretched out so much, my areolas were like giant alien eyes. And when I would get cold, they would be like, "Ooh," you know, and I was like, oh boy, you know. So I was like, I wish I had different ones of those. And you taught me, you took a cookie cutter literally and got the smallest areolas. I never had areolas. Like, they were just like blonde or not blonde. They were just pale and would blend with my pale skin. And now I'm just like, this such cute little areolas. I love them.
And it's amazing because think about it. It makes people feel so good about something that bothered them for so long. And it's interesting because you've had a lot of changes because of pregnancy as well. But I've seen girls in their early 20s that have breasts that are so asymmetric. One is not even formed.
Yeah.
And the other one's really big. And honestly, without a breast implant, you can't fix that. And people have been talking about toxicity of implants and things like that. We've been using them for breast cancer for so long. And the people that
I was
have
like,
breast
people who have breast cancer
and they
get
do
them.
great. And they love them and they're wonderful. And my public service today is, don't be scared of implants. If you need them for your confidence, it's okay. Get them. Just make sure they're kind of appropriately sized.
Yeah. And we talked about that a lot in the beginning because I was just like, I want a breast lift. And then I was like noticing how skinny I was when I was lifting up mine. I was like, I didn't even notice from the side there was no boob. And
we talked about like not putting an implant in and just doing fat or just doing.
And I had to learn like what is fat transfer and like it doesn't always attach sometimes or it does take. And I was looking at before and afters of just implants and just fat transfer, and I was like, I like the look of the implant one. It's like round and full.
Yep.
And that's the beauty. We went through all of those. I showed her all the different types of possible options. And I think it's so important. You know, it's what I tell people when we do that 3D simulation or the AI. If we didn't have this, I'd just be like, trust me. And sometimes,
That's so
trust
scary.
in the surgeon is scary, right?
That was the other surgeon too. He was like, yeah, it'll be great. And I was like,
trust me, I'm going
and
to make
I
you
went
look
at their
fabulous.
before and after pictures, and I was like, "These don't look great." You know, I was like, "This looks great."
Yeah, you didn't want to come out looking completely different on the new debut album. Like releasing the old album.
That is the one thing I'm so excited about is writing music so that I can do music videos so I can like show how confident I am.
Going on that theme, what have you been up to? Like, what's going on with music? Because your first song that was a hit has been in my head for the past 10 years, and you can't get it out of your head. It's hilarious. It's so catchy.
I got a nice break after I released an album called Timeless, and then we did a Timeless tour. I brought my 2 kids on tour. That was crazy. And we survived. Amazing. We did it. It was only 2 months, but it was a long 2 months. And so I got to see the fans. I didn't tour for 8 years. So that was like really beautiful to see all of them and sing all these songs. But now I got to finally have a break. All the fires were crazy. So that was devastating. And I cleaned out my closets, donating so many clothes. And then that day I donated clothes. We had to evacuate. And I think my kid got a little messed up from that too, like driving in the middle of the night. Now he's like, can we drive in the middle of the night? And I'm like, ooh, that was an emergency. And he's like, but I loved it. And I was like,
no one else did.
So we took a break, and then I got my boobs done. So I told my team, give me a break, to heal. And now I've slowly been going back to the studio in my house, which is really nice. So I could still be present with my kids, but I'm like trapped in this room all day and I love it. I've been writing for other artists. Then eventually I'm going to write a new album. But my team was like, baby girl, you've been working, you know, like you take your time and make the best songs you can make. And I'm like, okay, great.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm just working on getting shredded.
Too?
Yeah. I mean, not like amazingly, but I play piano and guitar and ukulele.
And you write all of your own music?
Mm-hmm.
That's very impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And for a lot of other people,
I started
right?
as a songwriter out here. I had like a Rascal Flatts #1 song while bass was coming out. And I was like, oh my God, you know.
Which song? I like that one song that they have.
Shoot.
Makes you want to cry.
They had a song,
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Yes.
That was me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like
That's very
19.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, I was in Nashville for 1 year writing for every artist I could.
Oh, no way.
And then All About That Bass was in my catalog and they couldn't find someone to sing it. And then they're like, what about you? And I was like, me? Okay, I'll do it. And
That's how it all
like,
started?
Yeah, it was like my dream. I was really insecure about how I looked. And I was like, Dad, I'll just be a songwriter first and then I'll get my way in the industry and then I'll put out my own music. And I was doing that for a year and bass happened and Epic Records found me and was like, you do it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Like never
You said you were
I was 19.
insecure about the way you looked. You
Yeah.
looked great.
I mean, at the time though, it was like pop stars were like, you know, like Rihanna and like who's stunning and gorgeous. And I was like, I don't look like Rihanna, you know, like,
Yeah, you're stunning and gorgeous.
thank
too.
you. But I was
really
like
are.
so 19, so insecure, like never danced in front of anyone, never like changed my clothes in high school in front of people, like always went in the stall, like, you know.
Yeah, it's a tough transition.
Yeah, it was 0 to 100 and I had no management. It was just me and my mom on set for All About That Bass music video.
That's awesome.
Like first time getting makeup done, first time getting fake hair put in, like wearing the dress. And I wear this. I wear black leggings and black everything.
you mean straight
And
from Nantucket to Hollywood?
Literally.
I love it.
I don't know.
But
It's
that's
like,
so great. It's such a great story, though. It's
and
not like
it was just like, do you want your dreams to come true? Just wing it. Like it was the first time I had to let go of any insecurity and was like, just do your best.
Amazing.
And I remember someone on set, there was like 50 people. I was like, who are these people watching me be terrified? Someone yelled, yes, it's giving Katy Perry. And they were just yelling. And I was like, I love Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I was like, Katy Perry. And it was crazy. And after that day, my mom and I cried so hard just for being so grateful. Couldn't believe people were building sets for a song I wrote.
Amazing.
Like,
that is so,
unreal.
so cool.
And ever since, I've just been holding out for dear life. I was like,
Amazing.
I love this job.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then any collabs coming up in the future? Just curious. Because I know a lot of pop
with
stars
artists
will
or
do, like,
with
artists,
companies?
like with DJs. No, like with DJs and
Oh yeah, that's
artists
my
and-
dream. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Because I know your brother was telling me how he does.
My brother Ryan, shout out. He's on tour right now.
He's
He's a
awesome.
DJ.
He's a DJ and he goes to
He's a
different places
DJ.
and he also sings along when he
Oh my God, have you
DJs.
seen him?
He told me all
Yeah,
this when I
because-
came to do the podcast.
Yeah,
with you.
because he hasn't ever been like taught how to DJ, so he's just like changing songs live, and it gets awkward sometimes. But he's
really
so
great.
charming that he
That's awesome.
he gets in the crowd, he jumps in the crowd with it's a lot of my fans going to his shows, and he's making his own fans now, and he's like he jumps in the crowd with them, and it's a lot of people at their shows like who tell him like I have social anxiety and it was a lot for me to come out tonight, and he's like I love watching. From the meet and greet, they're like shaking
That's
to
awesome.
like we're dancing to Lady Gaga together, jumping and like having the best night of our lives. It feels
is
like
awesome.
you're doing karaoke in your room with your best friends, and that's what their
He's
tour
got a
is.
fun job.
That's
He's got a fun
awesome.
job.
I know, I
And
know.
with Chris Olsen, who has helped me so much with my TikToks and social media, and is my best friend. He goes
who you
out and sings.
He's who you sing with and stuff. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
you.
yeah. He goes out and sings, and they go back and forth, and he sings like Disney and all these very hard ballads. I don't know how he's doing it, but they're crushing it, and people
That's
are
amazing.
loving it.
That's
That is-
awesome.
that is-
And they're
so,
doing
so-
venues like that I did on my first tour ever. So like Irving Plaza in New York City and like House of Blues in Boston.
No
And they're
way.
like, your name's on the wall. I was like, yeah, because I played there, dude, with like a #1 hit. Like,
That's so cool.
It's cute.
That's amazing. Well, and now I'm going to circle back to the whole skincare regimen. Okay. Because we have some gifts for you.
shut up. The lunchbox.
yeah.
The bougier's lunchbox.
So let's talk about cosmetics. This is called Beverly Hills MD. It's our little baby. I'll
Are you
have
making
John kind of-
makeup?
Huh? No makeup.
Oh,
No.
it's skincare.
This is all skincare.
Not yet.
But
Not
we can
yet,
make
my dude.
Listen, but just keep that open.
Just be honest. What makeup do you have on right now?
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a tinted moisture.
It's a tinted.
You know, the funny part, so our skincare line, the good part is we call it beauty from within. So we also have supplements that will help with beauty. So we have, one of our hero products is called Dermal Repair Complex.
Why didn't you give me these? I would take these. No, but I'll take
We
those.
have that one right here.
I never gave you this. Oh, okay.
And using it, so we also have, we're going to give you stuff from the outside, obviously. So using science, so GHK copper is one of the newest things
Yep,
for
I got
skin.
this.
And so
Similar
we have
to
this.
the peptides.
We have overnight masks in here, and there's some on this side. There's also
It's got a cute little toiletries
Show,
bag.
wait, give it to me. Come. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
show off the products.
oh yeah, there's stuff on the bottom too. You gotta
What?
flip it over and
Oh, this is heavy, guys. This
Yeah,
is like
this is
Bottega.
legit. This is
Oh, look at
legit
that! It's kind of
pack
like
right
a
here.
Bottega.
It is.
Oh,
We call it
yeah.
Fotega.
So that one
Bottega.
right there, the Nourish and Enhance body treatment, you're gonna love as a daily body moisturizer.
This is great. I've been doing Aquaphor on my body. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
There you go. Yeah, because the good part is got actives in it, and we always want to.
Wait, shut up. Timeless Beauty.
Yeah.
We should have collabed. My whole album's called Timeless
Let's do it.
because I want to live forever.
Boom.
That's literally what I wrote.
We'll help you do that.
Guys, and my album was blue.
Oh my God!
my
This
thing.
is
Done.
from the heavens.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's destiny.
This is from the heavens above.
Retinol. Okay, I can do
So
this.
now this is
the
what she
one-
was talking about.
This is the
Okay.
activated retinol. This is a microencapsulated form, so it doesn't cause the irritation.
Shut up.
Yes. So you can put it on every single night. It's not
I'm
going to
gonna do
irritate your
this.
skin. Yes. You should be using it every night.
If you do this, there's a possibility you may look like him.
I'm gonna do it now.
Wait.
Neck serum. Yes, my neck. Someone told me I had tech neck the other day, and I was like, oh
You
god.
don't have tech.
Like, wait, who's
People
that
are
person?
So harsh.
Yeah, people are so harsh.
Who's
yeah.
that person?
It was me in the mirror.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No.
That person was me talking to me.
It was me talking to me.
Yeah.
Thick, full brow.
Yeah.
I have no brow hair. I have to paint these on every day.
Try those.
You do brow stuff,
Yeah, it's
guys.
got a compound called Redensyl in it that is
This feels
twice as effective as
luxurious.
minoxidil.
Or minoxidil is the way to go. If you have hair loss, 2.5 milligrams a day,
Oh yeah.
it is amazing. The only
And there's
problem is
no
you
side
may
effects.
look like a Wolverine after.
I wish.
The rest
Yeah,
of your body.
that's the
You
goal.
may grow some on your
I
body,
know.
but
I was
it's
like,
okay.
the only thing I think is my mustache is coming in extra fierce, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I shave it down.
It's blonde.
Guys, you can't give me all of this.
Of course
Oh,
we can.
yeah.
And
Let
you know
me
the
pay
interesting
for
part is
this.
that's just
No
a
way.
fraction of the full line.
Yeah.
The full line's much bigger. And what I'll do is
Pills.
I'll have them send you all of it so you can play with all of it.
When did you have
Yeah.
time to make this?
This metabolic
I'm
reset.
taking all of this.
So
I'm only
and,
going to eat these pills.
You know, you've heard of some of the longevity things like berberine and the
Yeah,
GLPs.
I was taking that.
And, this right here has a combination of everything with arginine, which will prevent muscle wasting. So that's why that's
We made that
You know how hard
strictly-
it is to build muscle?
Yes,
Why is it so hard? Why do I have to eat 150 grams of protein every day?
I know it's tough.
You don't like it?
It's tough.
I don't like it. How do you do it?
I
like,
know. It's so
I'm
cr-
eating yogurt. I'm drinking
know,
shakes.
A big steak is about 30 to 50
Yeah, I have
grams of
steak
protein.
at
Can you believe
night.
that?
Yeah.
So it's like you have to
So
have 3
many
of them a day.
steaks I can
So
have
you
though,
get
because
there.
then I can't poop. You know, Like,
yeah. It's
What do you? Wait. Do you do all this every day to yourself? Don't
yeah.
lie.
do I do all of it?
There's a
I use-
regimen that he uses.
So I do use the dermal repair, the GHK copper, the total copper peptide, and then on the other side, the body nourishing serum.
You put on your body.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've asked him to let me do
What
it.
do you
He said,
do?
what do I do? Not nearly as much. No, I knew that I do the metabolic reset. We actually made that for me so I can lose some weight.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
No, you didn't.
I woke up one day.
You look great.
This was a few years ago, and I looked at him and I go, "We should come up with a supplement that naturally can help people lose weight and use the ingredients and the actives that, for example, like berberine, like arginine, things that will
Like
really
inflammation?
help." Exactly.
Inflammation
So-
is the devil.
So then there's dermal repair.
That's the one. So that's really for skin from within. So right. So it's got 2 compounds that block the conversion of a DHEA hormone into DHT, which is an aging hormone. So anyone post 30 could probably benefit from that. But the idea is it's got MSM, it's got hyaluronic acid, all kinds of things, hydrolyzed collagen. So the goal is we try to create supplements where it's got everything all in one, so you don't have to take 18 pills.
I don't like taking 18. I do it every day. I got this little shot glass, and I'm like,
I know.
And the other things that we didn't put in here, and I'm going to send to you, or I'll see you and I'll give them to you, is we have a beautiful like under eye patch that'll kind of get rid of the swelling.
You know who needs that? My husband.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll give, and we have a nice face mask.
He doesn't have like puff here. He has opposite. It's like sunken in. What's that?
You know
How do you
what's good
fix
for that?
Volume.
PRF.
What's PRF?
Platelet-rich fibrin. Basically, take your own blood, spin it down, and we actually turn it into PRP. You've heard of?
Yeah.
And then take the PRP and put it in with this like proprietary gel, and it gets it a little thicker, and inject that under there, and it naturally fills the hollows or the tear troughs, and it really, instead of putting filler that sometimes bunches and it doesn't look really good, this looks phenomenal. We did it for one of your patients a couple weeks ago, last week. It looked amazing.
Is there like recovery time, or is it just
you're
like
maybe
going
a little
in?
swollen for a day, maybe 2.
Yeah.
It's great.
All
I'm
kinds
actually
of
going to
fun
do it
stuff.
this week.
All
I'll tell you.
kinds of
I'll send
fun
you pictures of myself. I'll be like, hey, look.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I actually zapped my own hand on Friday.
Why?
Because
For
I had a
what?
little sunspot there. But now watch.
wow.
Next time you see me, it'll be nice and smooth. We like practicing.
Do you
on
believe in
ourselves.
infrared light?
Sure.
Sure, that's a no.
Look,
Sure,
you
it
It
have
takes
to-
forever.
Well, the thing
I don't
is,
see results.
You have to.
Not doing
It has to be strong enough, and so
you
most
can't, like,
people's
buy
at-home
that.
things
Yeah, at
are
home
not
is, like,
strong
garbage,
enough.
yeah.
And so, do I believe in it? Yes, but it's got to be appropriate.
Okay, what else? What else? I have questions. Sally, what are your questions? Sorry.
We're supposed to ask you questions.
I know, but I only
No,
get
I'm
you for a
kidding,
certain
I'm
amount of time.
No.
Oh, my boobs, I love them.
So tell me something, and I'm just curious about this. Why is it there's such a stigma around plastic surgery, and everybody, except for you and a couple of other people, want to keep it so hush-hush? Like,
I don't know.
it just doesn't make sense to me.
Because to me, you have such a platform, and if you lie about it, you are essentially teaching the next generation that they have to achieve something that is impossible.
Yeah, I
right?
think that's like a big thing of why I talk about it. I didn't want to just show up one day and I have a nice rack now. I have like perfect, gorgeous, evenly perfect tits. Also, like just the outfits like were so difficult to go, and I just can't wait to like have new outfits now and everything fits. Or I don't have to ruin it with like a weird giant bra.
Just tube tops.
Just jobs is what I'm going for. Because it made me frustrated when I started noticing like, oh, everyone on television, everyone anywhere on social media, like those are fake. Like now my husband is like, right, like he
can pick 'em out.
He could pick them out.
Yeah.
And I got frustrated. I was like, why did I feel so like the only person ever who's ever done it ever?
Yeah, it is crazy to me because we have even some of our patients who are on the big screen and things like that where they still are saying we've never had anything done, and you're looking at them like, wait, what?
I made that face. Yeah.
I just saw you.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that we want the accolades. Like it doesn't matter at all. It's more just really giving other people that,
Realistic expectations.
The realistic expectations. I get frustrated, yeah. When I look at someone, I was
and
like,
it
that's
makes it
not real.
even more difficult now with social media because you come out and you say you embrace this, right? You're like, I did this. Well, not all the comments are probably positive. How do you deal with some of the negativity?
Oh, I don't look.
Like you just shut it off?
I just posted about a whole thing about getting my boobs done, and I didn't look at any comments. I wouldn't dare.
Love you. That's awesome.
And usually I always look. This one I just knew I'm like, I'm not going in
Too many
there
trolls.
because I don't care. I don't need to hear any negative thing from a person in their basement that
you
like
did
has
it
nothing
for
to like
yourself.
probably a man. I did it for me.
Whoever's
I did this-
listening, take that really and really kind of practice it, because I think some people are so sensitive with what other people think and say that don't mean anything in the real world. You know what
like
I mean?
I'm
Who are these
living in
people?
oblivion over here that everyone loved my post.
That's
and like
beautiful. And everyone
like
loves you, and that's
and
that.
I'm helping people like if they want to ever do it, then to know that they're not alone and it's not scary, and I did it and I survived and it was awesome and it changed my confidence through the roof. I'm also like an advocate for loving yourself and all these songs about loving yourself because I'm constantly working on myself. It's not because I figured it out and I love myself and life is so easy. I'm like, no, I'm insecure and I'm working on it every day. But this changed the game for me. Like my boobs were one of my biggest insecurities ever. And so, yeah, I want to let everyone know everything I do because it's real. It's real. It's what I'm going through. It helped me with my confidence.
That's so great.
Love that.
But
so
I
great.
don't. I know friends that are on social media that have a big following that literally go and dive and look for the hate. Like they go, and that's gonna kill
that's
you.
so
It's so bad for your mental
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
So I don't look for that. If I
That's
see it
one of
on
the things, like-
accident, it ruins my day.
You're
That's
right.
like one of the
It
things
hurts
when
me
it comes
so
to,
bad.
to
No, you're
our social
human.
media. Like when we for our practice, if we put a before and after of someone, whether it's a patient, and
do
there's
they rip
any
them?
bad comments, we just erase them.
Just
or
delete
we stop
them.
because we're not. Listen, we're putting it up so people can see, but we're not letting. It's not there for people to bang.
Yeah, rip them apart.
Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
horrible.
It's amazing what society has become.
No, the online bullying is like
Yeah,
at an all-time high.
It's horrible, and it
really
really,
is.
to some people, it really, really, really affects them. I mean, it can bring someone down to the lowest of the lowest.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's important to hear someone that really actually is embracing it and says, "I don't even pay attention to it." That's
Yeah.
amazing. God bless. That's
I
fantastic.
asked a lot of people. I have comedian friends, and I'm like, you guys get death threats. So like, how do you do this? And they were like, they're ghosts. They're not real people.
Yeah.
Are they real people in my life? No. So like, who cares? Like
See, that's
ghosts.
great.
Don't even look at it. And I was like, oh,
No,
Words to
it's-
live by
it's-
right there.
yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
yeah.
great. My
Spooky
mom
ghosts.
calls me the other night and says, my niece is in school and she's a big advocate for some stuff that's happening, some hate that's happening in the world, and so she's become like the face for to like stand up against hate. Well,
Yeah.
people are going online and bullying her, right? So my mom calls me yesterday. She goes, "I didn't sleep all night. We need to
Yeah.
get a security guard for." I go, "Stop looking at those things." I go, "Those people are there to bother you, like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
you said." So I do think I think everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt. You need to just stay in your own lane, be who you are, and keep the voice that you have, and just spread positivity because there's so much negativity out there that if you did get caught up in that, then your
I
whole life
like
would be-
also, I don't know if it's like, it's not hard to not spread hate,
Yeah,
I've
right.
never once ever been like, ew, on a
Yeah.
comment or like said anything nasty.
Yeah.
If I felt like, if I felt a negative feeling towards something, I've never been like, let me go out of my way.
Yeah, here,
and
let me
comment.
put- let me put my opinion in
Try to
there.
ruin your day. I've
Yeah.
never
Like,
done
why?
it.
Why
And
ruin
it's not
someone's day?
hard. It wasn't even a concept to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's that like if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Right.
Very
I just
true.
don't. Yeah, I've never, ever. You can't catch me with bad tweets ever. Like there's nothing.
I love that. That is so great.
My mom taught me at like 15. She was like, "Internet's forever," and didn't know I would be famous one day. She's like, "Internet's forever, so watch what you post."
Yeah,
And, like,
exactly.
That's smart.
I know.
Thinking all the way back then. So when is this new? When are you re-releasing the album?
I'll come back for the album. I promise. I haven't even started it.
I just want to see
so-
the album cover.
I know. I have a Pinterest of like dream photos I want to do now that I have boobs.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
My album title that came out 10 years ago, we're doing a re-release, and I re-recorded All About That Bass with new vocals because
cool.
my little 18-year-old vocals weren't it. And I did it all over again, and then we remixed the song Better When I'm Dancing. Your kids know it. I feel better when I'm dancing.
I know, Mom.
So
That's all I listen to in the car now.
my brother's an incredible producer, my younger brother, so he remixed it. So we're gonna release that too. And like, there's new packaging that my manager worked really hard on. My kids like drew a whole sleeve that we put over the album, and those are like special limited edition.
awesome.
Isn't it cute?
That is so cool.
So we're just celebrating that 10 year and re-releasing that. So I guess that's what I'm promoting.
I love it.
Love
I
it.
can't wait to see
Yeah.
all of it.
Thank you.
No, big shout out to your manager.
Yes, Sally.
Sally, you're
We
awesome.
love you.
By the way. We really do. Your whole team, just everything,
great.
everyone
They're
that surrounds you,
angels.
your whole family. Honestly, it's a pleasure.
I'm lucky.
We're truly blessed to have had you on the
Oh my God,
show.
anytime. I'm coming back.
Yeah,
Whether you're
listen.
ready or not. I'm
We're
going
definitely
back.
going to take you up on it. We are definitely going to
And I'll be like, look at my skin now that I've done all this.
Yeah.
You know?
You're gonna come in with
And-
it all on.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
the good part, I'll give you, what to take, how to do it
Really?
in stepwise fashion.
What,
That
an
way
email?
it's-
Unlike what I
Text?
normally
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
just give
Text,
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Text me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions for us?
How do I guarantee I'll live forever?
Guarantee you.
I think
Just
if
be
you
happy.
can make it to, we say right now, AI predictive model, by 2030, we'll have significant breakthroughs in aging. And by 2050, aging will probably be a thing of the past. So we just got to make it to 2050. Yeah.
I could do it
Now, we want to look like we do now
in 2050.
in 2050.
Okay.
And that's my job.
Do you like the new Botox thing, or should I just do Botox?
So we use in our practice, the majority of the neurotoxin that we use is called
Jeuveau.
which is actually a Korean toxin as well.
I want
and
that.
we've loved it. But every time there's something new, John and I always try it and see. And if we like it, we'll start using it.
Yeah, we use it on
Jeuveau is your
ourselves
favorite.
and-
I've been
Yeah,
a big
Jeuveau.
fan of Jeuveau. Botox is great as well. All the neurotoxins are relatively pretty good. I just like Jeuveau because it feels a little more natural. I don't feel as stiff.
Yeah.
So when you try
and-
something on yourself, it's nice because you can give the feedback.
And I went, I went in and did Morpheus 8 on my belly and my stretch marks. So I'll let you know, keep you updated on how that looks later.
Yeah, look, it's a great treatment.
It's
So
a great
is.
treatment.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
I
right?
said a male invented this. Like, let's stab the skin and then burn it.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely. It
like,
really-
who the f- made this?
No, but it's
Yeah,
true.
100%.
But you know, the interesting part is little things like that can keep people looking really good without having significant surgery. So sometimes, people that don't want to go under the knife, they can do little things like that that can help.
Yeah.
I know a lot of surgeons are like, no, the only thing you have to do is always surgery. But if we can use technology to
I'm
kind
down
of
to
give
try.
these, why not?
You know.
Right, exactly. What do you got going on today?
I love you guys.
Anything exciting?
What do I do? What do I do today? Okay. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for having me on your amazing podcast. I watched all the episodes. It's great.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Thank you for being so great.
Yeah, you're the
Yay.
best.
And thanks for
You're
my
the best.
goodies. I don't
And don't
deserve
use them
this
all at the
Bottega
same
bag.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I
Man.
will.
If you like this video, you're going to love this one.
Is the injury done, and are you ready to get back in the ring again? Because I know that that's the big question, and I know that everyone's kind of itching to see you again. How far are we from
Yes.
getting you back in the ring?